Oh, that's weird.
That iron it's the pre-tool for Wheeljack, right?
Well, let's not get there.
Okay, yeah, Magnus is very RID Magnus, which doesn't really bother me that much.
But only on the front of the vehicle, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the part that bothers me. It's just such... Man, that is just such a weird way to implement that reference.
Okay. So, Jason, you said we're live, right?
Twitch, yes. YouTube, I'm working on at the second.
Okay, let's hold further discussion till we're actually like live and going, and everything's like on the record here.
Yeah, good idea.
So any cursing you want to get out, now is the time, probably because it's only going to Twitch, and who cares? Hi, Twitch.
Yeah, there's cursing on Twitch all the time.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine as long as you keep your shirt on. Nobody cares.
Yeah, true. Actually.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Looks like Tamashi's bringing over those new Digivolving Digimon figures they've been releasing in Japan.
Ooh. I kind of want Angemon and Angemon. That'd be kind of nice.
Well, it's Magna Angemon, so...
Oh, yeah. True. That's right, yeah, Magna Angemon.
You get the original one for just an Angemon.
Yeah, I've got the original. I forgot it's Magna Angemon, and then he goes as Frothy-mon as Mega.
Let's say yes.
I forgot it's Magna Angemon.
Jason, how are we doing on the YouTube side?
We are good.
All right.
And let me just hit a record button here. And now we're really, really good.
Okay, and Jason, I'm going to declare that you're in the driver's seat for this, so...
Can do.
Hands off.
All right. We'll give it a couple minutes before we go super official, but... And Eric hopefully will be on shortly.
Who cares?
Do we need to tweet out that we're live?
I would love it if you would.
Okay, hang on.
I've got TF radio access. I can.
Okay,
you are awesome. Thank you.
That. I know I am, but this isn't really a good example of that. Let's say yes.
I forgot it's Magna Angemon.
Jason, how are we doing on the YouTube?
Well, guys, the Brady Bunch house is for sale for $1.85 million. If you want to snatch it up.
Does it come with a dryer?
What the hell? So I think XSplit just died.
So we're not live?
Well, let me bring up Twitch real quick.
Live?
Oh, figures I just hit send on the tweet saying that I'm live with you guys.
No? Okay, no. It apparently decided to disappear on me. There we go. Okay. No, we're good. Okay. That was very strange. There was like an error message popped up and everything went away, and then it was just there again. This is going to go great, everyone. Hi.
Howdy.
Off to a great start.
Wow, it is 2 o'clock, so.
And we hit the ground flailing.
That's right. All right, everyone. Welcome to the 2018 SDCC Hasbro, the reveal panel for Generations, Bumblebee, whatever, Cyberverse, whatever else they want to put out. I am Jason. I'll be in charge of the stream today. Joining me is Chris, Don. We should have Eric shortly. Rob is not on camera, but he is on the stream with us.
Hi.
And joining us from, let's see, TFU.info, Transformers University, Transformers News and Views, and just an all-around pretty cool guy. We have Anthony Bercali.
Hello.
The Emmy Award winning Anthony
Yes.
Bercali?
I was
true.
trying to put one back there.
I mean,
you should have.
We gotta get all the details in there. You know, we gotta make sure we cover all our bases here.
Absolutely. So right now there isn't a whole lot coming through because the panel is just starting, if it started at all. There's been plenty of reveals this morning, so I'll be showing some pictures here shortly. And other than that, we're just kind of waiting for official word to start coming through. I will note there have been no Decepticons shown yet. At least not that I can see.
It's not for Generation, yeah.
No. So I have a feeling that there will be a table after the presentation with because I can't believe they're only going to release like a wave of Autobots or, well, I guess I could believe that actually. Who am I kidding?
But just, you know, Combiner Wars again. Solid waves of one faction.
Pretty much.
That would kind of suck.
Yeah.
Really
so, as we were getting set up for streaming, we were just about to get Don's live reactions to the reveal of War for Cybertron or Siege Ironhide, which was at the Hasbro preview breakfast event this morning.
I was trying to find the picture. Let me look. Hound looks good.
Yeah, I was commenting on Twitter, like, I don't even really have a problem with Sideswipe and Hound as such. Like, they look perfectly fine as representations of those characters, but, like, man, am I not interested in having new toys of them.
Yeah.
Unless they do G2 Sideswipe, then, you know, I will knock you down on the floor and step over you to get to that if I have to.
Ironhide looks okay. It's just, I don't know how that's at all Cybertronian, because he looks like it's his. I haven't seen a vehicle mode picture yet, but he looks like it's, you know, he's robot mode. He looks as Cybertronian as anybody else does.
And also, they finally got the basic shape of Cup's torso right on Ironhide.
Oh, you spoiled the surprise. I don't think Don realized yet.
Well, I can see it. It looks like it's a retool of, or at least the front looks like Cup, because I've got.
It's similarly shaped, but I went through this morning looking at these, and it's not. I don't believe it's a retool, because for one thing, the windshield actually goes in the right direction for Cup this time.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just. I mean, I like especially the Legends version of Cup, but that's the one thing about it that bothers me, which is that the windshield is kind of just supposed to be open at the top.
I guess
this is, so.
I guess since he's not like a straight repaint or remold, our Cup doesn't runneth over.
Well, it might when they get to the remolds of that. I mean that's almost,
because I'll be honest, that's very brave looking. If it was a bit less detailed and etched, and you know, it was a little bit more of a smoother body, because that reminds me of Guard Rescue from Firebird, who was an ambulance who looks like he sort of splits down the middle to transform, and that's kind of what reminds me here is probably not. I'm just thinking parallels that don't exist.
I was thinking it looked like Energon Inferno.
Kinda, yeah.
I think I prefer thinking of my Brave reference instead of anything related to Energon.
Well, if you prefer, Don, it looks like Pyro Rescue 1 from Lightspeed Rescue.
Oh, okay, I'll take that. The gun,
which happened to not be dissimilar from Energon Inferno.
Yeah. The gun is very Red Alert. Our Armada Red Alert. The gun, it reminds me of that. Woo. So I mean, it's weird though to see all this hyper detail, like you said, the etching. It's just weird to see this much surface detail.
Yeah, they revealed Moonracer. We were talking about this, or no, Chromia. We were talking about this pre-stream, which Chromia is I don't want to say a retool exactly, but it shares its fundamental engineering with Moonracer, except that they replaced basically every single vehicle surface part. They also took the combiner plug out of it, so, you know, no extra limbs for Elita 1, sadly. But they took every vehicle surface part and replaced it with one with, like, 200% more sculpted in lines and just, greebly detail for aesthetic, capital A aesthetic.
This is, I don't mind them doing detail, but I don't want them to be doing detail for the sake of detail, because I don't want my Transformers to look like super imaginative Chigokin, where you lose the figure in all the detail.
Yeah, I mean, you know what they say, Don, the devil's in the detail, and some of this detailing I would certainly say is pretty damned.
Yeah. Somebody pointed out that the Ultra Magnus sculpt has the little head Vulcans that Studio Ox drew him with from time to time. And it's just like, somebody keep the Studio Ox away from these people. They cannot be trusted with, high detail mechanical design.
But Rob, fans love the Ox.
That's nice.
So actually, just real quick, what's a brief explainer on Studio Ox? Because I've heard it enough and I've looked at it a little bit, but is there like a quick synopsis of it?
They were a Japanese design studio that did a lot of promotional art for G1 in Japan, and they did some highly detailed, highly stylized versions of the characters. So, like IDW Galvatron's horns, I believe, originated with a Studio Ox illustration, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Jason.
Also, if memory serves, the episode called "The Primitives," its character model designs were loosely based on some Studio Ox work, if I'm remembering that correctly.
Yeah, because TMS did that episode, and I think they had someone from Studio Ox supposedly on the TMS team at that time, or one thing I've heard through the years is why there's that similarity. There's also several third-party figures out there. I'm trying to remember some that have done
Mastermind's Ocular Max series is very specifically based on those designs. That's the O in Ocular and the X in Max is derived, like they derived that name through that process, referencing Studio Ox.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah. The Prime in robot mode looks, as we talked about yesterday on RSC, that Prime robot mode looks like it has nothing to do with the vehicle mode. And he doesn't have as much kibble hanging off of him other than under the forearms. And we need our forearm expert, Eric Crowbar, but he's not here yet.
Well, hopefully
soon.
I say hopefully, but
Yeah. I mean, I guess you couldn't have gone any. I mean, that's not for an intrusive kibble. That's not too bad on the under the arms. You could always pretend they're like some kind of like massive like sledgehammers that he just flings them up and punches you with like a giant square of metal if you need a reason. Now, who is the small silver car? Are we calling that Cog? Or are we calling that the other?
No, Cog is the collection of blue weaponized body parts.
Mostly seen on Ironhide.
Yeah.
Oh.
Some on Hound.
So who's the little gray car then?
One of the Micromasters.
The one that's the DeLorean.
Swindler.
I couldn't. Okay, I couldn't figure out what that particular Micromaster team was. The other couple I got when I was adding detail to the T-Formers post, but I couldn't figure that one out.
Somewhere in one of my many, 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 many boxes of childhood toys is a Swindler and several other random loose Micromasters I got from a garage sale in the Chicago suburbs in 1992 for like all of 15 cents.
Oh, nice.
Dang.
Well, 1992 money, that's like $25 now.
All right, so it looks like panelists in the panel include Ben Montano, of course, John Frazier, who's marketing, Matt Clark, story writing, John Warden, of course, and Sean Isabella, the design team, and Mikhail Horzer, I think, Hauerzer, from Hasbro Studio. So. So I'm sure we'll be hearing plenty from afterwards. I'm sure plenty of people will be talking to John and Ben about stuff.
Be back in just a second.
Sure.
Yeah, I believe the Q&A sessions with the design team for this year are scheduled to start tomorrow morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we may not be hearing too much from that unless people are able to just have an opportunity for off the cuff conversation after the panel's over, but I wouldn't count on it. Hopefully shortly after the panel, the Hasbro booth will be updated with some of the stuff seen in the breakfast event and maybe one or two new things that we'll see during the panel presentation too.
Right.
That would be
I would
nice.
like there to be another pass at getting photos of these toys, maybe not in some of the poses and without all the admittedly interesting looking environment detail they're set up on.
Yeah.
Let's see. So they've mentioned the t-shirts on Amazon. Oh, what was Brian's link for that yet last night? No, I can't remember.
tfradio.net/Hasbro Comic Con, capital H and capital C's.
Okay. Which, if I thought when it was first dropped, I could have ordered them, had them shipped 2 days, and been wearing one right now for this. But I would have had, I don't know, that would have been too smart.
I think you mean shirtsickle.com/tfradio.
I have one of those.
Or tfradio.net/shirts, I think.
Shirts, yes. Diecast is the one who keeps saying it's shirt. But no, we want you to buy more than one shirt, so it's shirts.
Yeah, Diecast can't get any of the URLs right. He's had his tfradio.net/reviews shortcut link for months, and he still can't get that right on the first try. I think he still messes up the address to his own Facebook page.
Yes, absolutely.
So this week on the Radio Free Cybertron live streams, throwing Diecast under the bus while he's not here.
Presented by
I don't
Chris.
feel bad about that because I would equally throw him under the bus to his face.
So for those who'll be listening to audio later, we are being joined by Eric Crowbar himself, Eric Crownover. Hey Eric, how's Indiana?
Hello.
Is there corn? Lots of corn?
Yeah, lots of flat stuff.
Well, no, there's more than corn in Indiana. There's Indiana Beach, which is a commercial I heard over and over and over again when I lived in the Chicago suburbs like 30 years ago.
It's not that exciting of a state in general. No.
No. I don't know why you chose your chicken college there.
So Eric, have you seen any pictures from this morning yet?
I saw Moonracer. Have we seen Ironhide in robot mode or no?
Yeah.
Yep, there's pictures.
I haven't seen him yet. I only saw his alt mode. I saw Magnus, we haven't seen the inner bot of Magnus yet.
No, right? They may or may not reveal that during the panel, which is going on right now. But
really
as far as the breakfast display, no.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say I was pretty sure they didn't show off the inner robot at the breakfast, but I saw somewhere that they basically confirmed that there is one.
Yeah, Unicron.com broke that on their Facebook page about an hour ago, I think.
Oh, so Chris, I have a question. How do you feel about the detailing on all these figures?
Oh dear God. I'm kind of offended, honestly, that they took Moonracer, which was not my favorite toy to start with. They took out the only thing that really justified the compromised design, which was the combiner plug on it. Then they also removed 80% of the surface parts on it and replaced them with hyper-detailed alternates. So, like, they've taken away all the reason for the toy to be engineered the way it was. They've made it ugly, in my opinion, and basically turned the third female Autobot into just another, essentially, clone of the ones we already have. Like, no thanks. I'll be sticking with my motorcycle from, like, 4 years ago.
Yeah,
if I ever find it
again, they just shoot getting a complete Elite of One combiner in the foot for no real reason.
Or the arm, depending. They're Scramble City, Don.
Well,
no, I think my most brilliant observation so far today was when I likened the decos of these Siege toys to being inspired by John Morton finding the jump starter that had been buried in his backyard.
Yep, I remember him saying that.
Because I looked at one of those. I looked at one of those photos close up of the Voyager Optimus Prime in robot mode, and it doesn't look like anything to me so much as a toy that's just been left sitting out in the yard for a few days. Optionally kicked up with some dirt or something, but like it doesn't look good or like, convincing battle damage. It just looks like a dirty toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's one thing I'm not too sure. Now, granted, maybe we'll see him in person. It won't look that bad, but now, is this going to make exclusives easy where it's just the clean versions of these without paint?
All my hatred. And it's a testament to how indoctrinated I am to IDW, but like I was looking at the Ultra Magnus pictures and the like dirt splatter on the white thighs and just thinking Ultra Magnus would be having an aneurysm if his thighs were that dirty.
I love Ultra Magnus's alt mode. The RID inspired. At least that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, we were saying that earlier.
I appreciate that.
Well, it definitely looks Cybertronian, which is nice.
Yeah, I know. Unlike half of them.
And, Diecast should be pleased because the way it looks like the whole thing transforms, the sweeping front bumper will turn into the, iconic Ultra Magnus butt flap made famous by the Masterpiece.
Looks like they're going over Bumblebee stuff.
Exclusives, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wait. So is the Target exclusive Soundwave with the cassettes? Is that for the Bumblebee movie?
Okay,
Yes.
there's actually two
for
packs.
the Bumblebee movie.
Yeah, it's for the Bumblebee movie, and it's two different sets. It's Soundwave is one set, and a one-step Bumblebee with the 3 cassettes is the other one.
Oh, so it's just Soundwave by himself. It's not like anything.
Yeah.
Well, with Doombox.
Yeah.
Don't forget Doombox.
Oh, okay.
Yes, his Titan Master is now Doombox, and that's pretty great.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, we approve of that.
Well, we have to
There's
approve of
also-
something.
There's also some debate over whether Soundwave has been retooled a little bit. And looking at the picture on the slide, and do you think the the speaker grilling on the boombox mode is different? Because I don't remember it being those straight across slats.
Yeah, those look different to me. I haven't opened mine, so I don't know. I mean, I would have to compare it off of Blaster, but also that and the rate. There's like a little portion on the top that looks like it has a radio dial across the top of the. I guess it's part of the leg above the speaker. That I don't remember either. But I mean, I'm going off of just my memory from Toy Fair when he was announced. Yeah, that one seems slightly retooled in my eye, but I could be wrong.
I'm looking at the TF Wiki's stock photos now.
I have them right in front of me. I just need to see the.
Yeah, no, actually, it doesn't
That is
look
retooled.
like. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Because those they basically put in like wider bars at on the inside of those speaker panels to make it look like there's just a kind of a standard Soundwave in the middle of this boombox.
Actually, the front of the shin panels is retooled too. They may have replaced the whole lower legs.
Oh wow. Well, that would make sense since they attach to these. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Those
that's
are
different.
probably all one parts tree together. So if you change one thing, you might as well change the other ones with them.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a little bit of retooling on the Soundwave, at least the legs. I'm not sure if we're going to discover more as we get more in detail with this.
I wish it would have been a Sound Blaster. I feel like those colors would go a little bit better with the Bumblebee. I don't know, because he has
That would have
black
been a
and
good
yellow.
opportunity for that too, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. That's what I'm just thinking. Is that would have been a
Or-
great place to squeeze it in, but
Or
Yeah.
if not even that much, they could have at least given Soundwave a red visor instead of the same yellow one the Titan's Return had.
But at least we get blue. I want to call him Rumble, even though they're calling it Frenzy. But you know,
Hmm.
at least we're getting the other one.
And
Yeah.
the other half of
That's because you're a wrong child, Eric.
we're also getting in that pack the blue Ravage, which is Howlback, which is a callback to a 2005 hobby set with a
Double
recolored.
centuries.
I was about to ask where the blue Ravage was from because I saw that there was a blue. Is it using the Ravage head or the Stripes head?
Ravage head.
It is? Okay, I was just making sure. I didn't remember. I didn't look at it that long. I just saw, hey, there's a blue Ravage.
Sadly, there was also a blue laser beacon that Cobalt Sentries pack, which they opted not to replicate for this. Which, I mean, you got Frenzy and you got Howlback in there, so 2 of the 3 of them are predominantly blue anyway. I don't know why they wouldn't just go the full length with it and theme it properly.
So I'm confused why some of these why these Siege figures are like hyper detailed, but others aren't. Like Hound and Sideswipe aren't. But then Chromia and Ultra Magnus are. It's just like just make up your mind.
Yeah, a little bit. And then Optimus Prime's kind of in the middle.
Yeah, he's a healthy balance. It's too bad. I don't want it.
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm just saying like it's in the middle of those 2 ranges. The healthy point is, you know, the Sideswipe and Hound end where it's not especially detailed like that.
Yeah.
But
About
like,
to start talking generations, by the way. At least
Ooh.
Yeah.
what I see.
excellent. No, I mean, it's going to be a problem though, not having like stylistic consistency if more of the toys end up being just kind of all over the map in their level of detailing. Like, hopefully that's not going to be something ongoing.
I mean, they keep getting more and more detailed as time goes on. So where are they going to go from now? I feel like they've reached the peak.
I swear this like key artwork they're using for the Siege slide is by Livio Ramondelli. That would just put a cap on things, wouldn't it?
Oh, I could totally see that actually.
I have a question. I know we're getting fire, like the blast effects from guns for the guns and stuff, but the little car with the flame behind it, is that little flame effect gonna come with like a Micromaster?
I think that little flame effect is the sword swipe thing from the cat sword Battlemaster.
Oh, there's a sword swipe. Okay, I like that. That's actually kind of interesting. The sword swipe. Yeah. I mean, I hope it looks good, but
well, it looks like the thing you're asking about, because that's what
I saw it behind a little car just on the ground. Like, is that kind of effect not used on a sword?
Find one of the Chromia pictures. There's a photo of Chromia holding the sword mode of that with that effect attached.
Gotcha. Was there anything?
One of the other things the Unicron.com post referenced was that the Battle Masters are supposed to both reference Target Masters and Action Master partners, which to me makes a better justification for coming up with a new catch-all titling for them instead of just going with Target Masters, for instance.
Yeah.
And at least they're not calling it all mini-cons anymore. Like,
So
I like mini-cons, don't get me wrong, just, let them be their own thing.
They confirmed at the panel that they did indeed remold Soundwave to look more 80s, and he's actually available on Target.com or Target.com now, I think it's saying.
Oh damn it.
Are the cassettes available with
it just says
that's the more important thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I never got Titan's Return Soundwave, so yes and no.
Well, the thing about Target.com is it may be on the site, but it'll either say in stock,
in stores only,
or in stores only. Yeah. So
the other thing too is it's not my experience that Target exclusives, especially something like this that would be like solid packed cases, those don't tend to go out of stock very quickly at all. Because I mean, this isn't like a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, for instance. So I don't think it's going to have to be a mad rush for these.
So far, the only thing up at Target.com that comes up under Soundwave is a child seat for a car.
Yeah, I typed in Transformer Soundwave and got G2 Bruticus and Computron. So
yep,
a great site.
I'm looking at another one of these promotional art pieces for Siege, and it shows most of the characters we've seen toy reveals of so far: Ironhide, Chromia, Hound, Sideswipe. It also has Prowl on here, which looks as Dotson as you would expect it to at this point. And also a Red Alert, which we've had no indication of so far. And Tetrajets in the background.
Okay, the mask is on the site for $80. So that's there.
Yeah. Yeah, that Studio Series Bumblebee mask is there, so...
Maybe that's what they were referring
Wait, which
to.
mask? Because I saw a mask that was like the regular Bumblebee and then one that's like the battle mask. Is it like the...
This is regular Bumblebee from Bumblebee the movie.
Like the full-on helmet one?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It has light-up eyes, and according to the side of the box, which we saw at some of the photos at T-Formers, has some kind of Bluetooth functionality, but I'm not exactly sure what.
That's what I was hoping for. I would actually consider buying it if you could use it as like a Bluetooth type thing.
Yes, I mean if you can use your phone to play sound clips through it, that would be pretty great.
I was gonna say then it'd actually be worthwhile.
Okay, so we got some initial photos of the slides from the presentation. I'm looking at the Micromasters Wave 1, the Battle Patrol, which is 2 figures. The Micromaster Patrols are now 2 figures for $10. So what we have in that is Big Shot and Flask. Not Flask.
Oh wow!
Well, I want that one.
Oh, he's an alcoholic.
No, I think Flask can hold his liquor.
So basically, this is the Legends class price point.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
And they do combine to form a weapon.
Yeah, I like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That does add a little
and-
bit to the price point anyway.
Are they as big as the Target Masters, or are they smaller? Or
I don't know if we have a good side by side on them yet.
that's what I thought. I was just if anyone knew.
The Cat Sword Battlemaster is Lionizer.
He's cool.
Okay.
I like that one.
It's
So I'm guessing
different.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
why I like that one.
So who gets recolored into Rad?
I don't know, but he wants to tell you about the Transformers.
Yeah, Hound looks decent.
Helm looks pretty good.
I'm looking at the slideshow. It's like the commercial. Oh, whoa.
Whoa?
What?
What?
Speak, Don. Speak.
Yeah,
Well, there's. Okay, no, that's Cog. That was the blue and white. Kind of threw me for a second. I thought, is Ultra Magnus a Gestalt combiner? But no, it was him breaking into his component guns.
I was gonna say. So Cog turns into how many guns?
Oh,
I'm
As
guessing
many as
probably
you
around-
need.
I imagine in the vicinity of between 5 and 7.
And we're supposed to be getting 6-gun, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and
Wonder how many guns he turns
as a
into.
later assortment.
Okay.
It probably means we're getting Brunt down the line too.
FCA.
Hmm?
Star Trek jokes.
Oh.
Brunt. FCA.
I got it. Ferengi Commerce Alliance.
Race Patrol.
Authority. Ferengi Commerce Authority.
Authority. Okay.
Oh wow, that Race Patrol weapon mode is not nearly as good as the other weapon mode, combined weapon mode.
I was kind of waiting for that. Yeah.
That's a sad weapon mode. And then Rescue Patrol, Okay, I guess the Race Patrol just has a really bad combined weapon. The weapon mode for the Rescue Patrol is better than that, at least.
Yeah. That the Race Patrol kind of looks like the world's most half-assed double target master.
I mean, if you only have 2 cars to work with, it's very few moving parts. It's kind of hard to.
Yeah, that's kind of inevitable.
You could have.
But if you didn't make them the same thing, it would help.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could have made. I mean, you could have got the Skyboom shield out of 2 of those.
Probably.
Oh, okay. So that's the first I've seen that Ironhide. That's a really good Ironhide.
There's Cog.
Yeah, I'm just.
Wow, that sure is the robot laying down. That alternate mode.
Yeah, yeah.
That sure is.
Huh.
Transform and take a snooze.
I mean, you say that, but I'm not really against that idea in principle.
No, it looks nice.
I really like
transform
that,
from
actually.
Robot to nap time and back. That sounds like everything I'm looking for in life.
The official transformer of RFC.
Yeah. Cog
Okay,
is
so
just.
there's cog weapons on Sideswipe slide up now. Part of it becomes shoes.
Well, I mean, you gotta look fashionable as you're
Okay.
destroying Decepticons.
Trent needs to talk to Hasbro because I think for Cog they just basically just ripped off BMOG at this point.
Well,
So-
they say, Don, no new ideas anymore.
Well, we're certainly seeing that so far this line.
So would this be let's see, lowercase God sideswipe?
Demigod sideswipe.
There you go. I'll take that.
Ironhide looks deceptively better in the presentation slides than the model.
Just gonna say that.
So does Chromia.
Particularly.
Chromia doesn't look so over detailed in the slide to me.
Also deceptive then.
Yep.
Yes.
Now, I mean, if Ironhide was a little shorter and his wheels kind of like folded under the body, you could almost maybe use that as a wheeljack if you had to, but it still wouldn't be
I'm pretty sure Wheeljack got a mold before any of these did, is my guess.
I'm pretty sure Hound got the first molds because that's why he was in the voting last year.
There you go.
Well, I think Wheeljack,
that's hard to
Mirage,
say because would Hound have been an evolution leader toy then?
Yeah, but like Wheeljack, Mirage, and who else were in the fan vote as the the regular
Nose,
Impactor,
and Impactor, yeah.
No, but who else? There's weren't there 3 tracks? I bet Tracks, Wheeljack, and Mirage are gonna get made. I'm pretty sure those 3 are gonna get made.
No matter they will. What. Yeah.
The vote was to see if Impactor, Needle Nose, or Spinister.
Yeah, so my theory on that was, the 84, 85 Autobot characters were already locked in as things that were going to happen in some capacity. And that was basically just deciding, okay, now what other mold gets recolored into one of these other 3 characters, and what toy that we already have designed gets saddled into being a 2-pack instead of its own release, basically.
The inner Magnus spot is a little kind of short and chubby. It's a little cute.
Okay, just have to
Let's see.
Yeah, kind of.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad. It's just he's just a little chubby.
Yeah.
Who's this? What? Who what?
The Magnus.
The inner white bot of Magnus.
Okay,
who I'm
where
very,
y'all
very
see?
happy about. The tweet, the thread.
I'm looking. Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, thanks to on Twitter at Kali Karishoka for the pictures. They're great. Doing a great job here. Give her credit.
So basically,
direct link down.
So the gimmick for this line is weapons, right?
It seems to be.
Yeah, well,
more or less.
As far as we can tell. It's at least more of a consistent gimmick than Power of the Primes had.
Just kidding. They actually got better at hiding combiner boards, and they're actually all combiners.
You know what? If they actually managed to pull that off this time, I would give them all the credit.
Yeah.
There's a Starscream in the back that they're refusing to bring out.
It took us
He can't be
lines.
seen.
We finally did it.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. You may as well show us Starscream before it gets leaked tomorrow. You know how these things work.
Yeah, that Magnus by himself is the Magnus robot mode is looks okay, but just they didn't do anything with the front part of the grill. It's just this big, huge grill just sticking out.
Yeah. Well, with the truck parts, it works, I think, but by itself,
but I mean,
I'm not exactly sure what your objection is here, Don.
No, it's just that giant blue front bumper on his basic vehicle mode without the trailer. Doesn't really fit.
I mean, how often are you going to have Ultra Magnus in alt mode without the trailer?
I agree. It's almost like he's there. You know, can I shovel your driveway, ma'am? And
it's almost like they stuck a Robots in Disguise reference on the front of this Ultra Magnus with no rhyme or reason whatsoever. Is what it's like.
Okay, so looking at the way it transforms, that whole lower section below the truck's actual grill work rotates around to get the legs in the right orientation for either robot mode. They put that on there so that Ultra Magnus has the blue butt flap, which is just a Magnus thing. That's the whole reason they went with the Robots in Disguise reference. Limited parts count, having to make do and have 2 robot modes essentially in this. It's all just kind of
You're
a
right.
combination of what we need to have and how we can make that into something that matters rather than just being random extra parts slapped on. Also, if you were to say swap that piece out with a more typical truck bumper, I'm even more seeing Thunderclash in that cab.
Yeah.
Oh, Studio Series is up.
Who cares?
So we can see Orange
Somebody
Lockdown.
must.
I'm so confused about
Okay.
Orange Lockdown.
So
I'm
Yeah.
totally gonna buy that orange lockdown retool. Not even gonna lie.
the Bumblebee movie Bumblebee actually looks really nice.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that one. And he comes with a bunch of alternate parts. Like, he comes with an alternate head and then other stuff. Wait, who's that Dropkick? That's new. That wasn't out yesterday. TFBB Dropkick. What's TFBB?
Transformers Bumblebee.
That's one of the characters they introduced. They announced the other
Wait.
day.
But
That's
Dropkick,
interesting.
I thought Dropkick turned into a car, not a helicopter.
Okay,
The version of Dropkick we've seen so far, yes.
You do realize movie Transformers have that wacky ability to just like look at something and then immediately be able to turn into it.
No, that's true. I'm
Jerv
just...
went back and forth between car and helicopter several times in Age of Extinction, for instance.
Really? I thought he only used the helicopter once.
I don't think
swear
so.
it's- I
Didn't
think
he
it's
use it in
just
a
that...
fight scene and like fly into the meeting of the Autobots somewhere in there?
I think so.
Yeah, because we all made the comment, like, you
How do I
know,
remember
flying
that?
a helicopter up an empty shaft in the middle of a skyscraper is just like the best possible idea.
Oh, you're right.
Nothing
You're right.
else
They did
can
use
go
that.
wrong
I
with
forgot about
that.
And we never saw him actually turn into the helicopter.
Nope.
If I remember,
Because
he was
Transforming
just-
costs money.
yeah, it's well. I mean, they were already using Beast Machine's morphing transformations at that point, and power little frosted squares
Yeah,
of
no, it
transformation.
wasn't
Whatever.
Beast Machine's morphing transformation effects. They were literally transforming by turning into clouds of angry bees.
I'm
Yep.
curious
Bees.
if
My God.
I'm curious if that gun that Orange Lockdown has is his face gun. Like, if that can go on top of his face or not. I'm not sure.
I probably not.
The in-hand pictures yesterday made it almost look like it could, but the picture from the slide doesn't look like it as much to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's supposed to just be one of Lockdown's generic goons. And then the Stinger is a KSI Sentry, which makes sense because...
That KSI Sentry it's based on was red. They just made it blue because they can't release another red reuse of the mold, but I like it in blue. So
Well,
it's okay.
likewise, weren't Lockdown's troops all basically Lockdown colored?
Did Lockdown even have any? Oh, yeah, you're right. They were just gray. Yeah, so Lockdown color. Lockdown was darker,
To
but
be
yeah.
fair, 99% of all like scene filler model Transformers in the movies are gray, so
hmm
and completely bereft of like specifically individually identifiable features of any kind.
So there's the
To go back to, I think the Rob Springer reference, bags of knives.
Yep.
So apparently Anthony has noticed that there's some Tetra jets in the art in the background, which is nice because,
Yeah.
you know, that's actually a Cybertronian thing.
Actually, I didn't notice it as much as I read it on Twitter. For some reason, my computer is not getting the internet very well, other than this call we're on. But so I'm cheating by going off my phone. So if you see me looking at my phone, that's why.
Oh yeah, I see.
We'll
it.
allow it.
That's up top.
But yeah, there's Tetra jets in that piece of artwork.
Yeah, I was noticing that when I was calling out like Red Alert and
Prowl.
Super Dotson Prowl.
Yeah,
Dotson as hell.
it's a very Dotson Cybertronian.
They're on to Cyberverse now, I believe,
Yeah.
That Ultra Class Shockwave
Yeah.
looks amazing from Cyberverse.
which means I
Oh,
guess
wow.
we'll see Decepticons at New York.
I
Maybe.
guess.
I guess.
Yeah, it's not gonna be much of a war if everybody's an Autobot.
Let's
Well,
see.
I
They
mean-
say they just. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Oh, they're actually
Oh.
showing some footage from the show.
Yeah, I did not expect the animation to be like that.
And they say they designed over 90 different bots for the first season.
Whoa.
Oh,
Sweet. So that's like 80 characters we won't get figures for.
Yeah, just like Robots in Disguise again.
yeah.
Meanwhile, 16 different Optimus Primes in 5 different sizes.
Oh, that's long.
Yeah, I
beat
know,
that.
right?
The animation reminds me of Robots in Disguise, though.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's the same studio, probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
They've got a good working relationship, and that studio does do good work, even if you don't exactly like the specific style they might be using at a given time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a combination of Robots in Disguise and animated to me. Like they're going for, they're trying to keep the Robots in Disguise like motif and basic designs, but they're also trying to give that opening a very stylized, because animated is a very stylized series, obviously, and the cartoon opened up with a very specific style of animation. So to me, it looks like they're trying to combine both of them.
It kind of
Apparently,
amuses me that
Dropkick
they-
was confirmed as a triple changer. So
Okay.
there you have it.
But it
Helicopter
probably will
slash.
not be reflected in the toy.
If it
Of
is, let
course
me
not.
tell you, that car is going to look pretty great from that helicopter.
Yeah. But no,
Or
it's
they're practicing for Springer.
yeah. It still amuses me that they keep inching back towards the animated art style after, canceling it so they could start Transformers Prime.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably still more Cartoon Network's fault than anything.
I will never rule out something being Cartoon Network's fault, but just,
Exactly.
all things considered, it kind of seems like Transformers Prime was a factor there, too.
I'm still
Well,
completely shocked.
Transformers.
Go ahead.
Because, Hasbro's own Cartoon Network with Blackjack and Hookers worked out so well for them.
I'm still shocked we didn't see a single Decepticon in
So
Power of the Prime,
You know what
or the War for Cybertron.
Ridiculous.
So you know what I'm noticing from these reveals, guys, that it's kind of sitting funny with me because everyone seems nonplussed. It's probably there's a lot of meh in the reaction for Generations, even for Cyberverse, right? It's almost like they're splitting the difference in terms of how they're playing this nostalgia. Because think of it this way, like out of the 5 people on this call, 4 of us are not necessarily the target audience anymore. And that 5th person being Eric as the younger person. So his nostalgia sits somewhere around 2001, 2002. So they're going back to 84 and they're going back to Micromasters, but they're also kind of going back to Armada and RID. Like they're trying to do too many things all at once and in a way not really accomplishing anything.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're accomplishing one major thing. They're boring us. They are
And
boring us.
they're saving Matt a lot of money this year.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll probably still. Look behind me. If there's an Optimus Prime out, I'm going to get it. So I'll probably get Trucker Hat Optimus, or let's see, was it Mario Odyssey that my son calls Mario Hat? So it'll be Optimus Hat probably. And like the Ultra Magnus, awesome. Definitely get him. So
Yeah.
I'll pick and choose. There's some I like, but
Yeah,
also-
this is definitely going to be a cherry picking line.
yes. Also, they're showing actual footage from the show.
That's
And
decent, I think.
Yeah, it's basically looks like a scene where Megatron's introducing the Decepticons, I guess.
Yeah, I muted it so I could actually hear you guys, so I'm not exactly sure. Plus, I wasn't sure if that was coming over my sound or not when I played the last one. So
No. If I
Good.
played it, we could hear it, but I don't know if that would then cause a problem on YouTube. So just not going to try it.
yeah, good call.
And I was looking at Blade Raider on Twitter said, "Did Pat Lee design this toy line? There's too much needless details everywhere."
Okay, but they're also not made of marshmallows and trying to steal your purse, so I'm going to rule out the Pat Lee involvement.
But that would fall into the 2002 era of nostalgia.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, actually,
okay, and the thing is, does anyone have nostalgia for Dreamwave in particular, besides Pat Lee, probably?
somebody has to, and it would be the most this design team thing to do the 2002 nostalgia for 1984 nostalgia. That would be exactly what they do.
Yeah, maybe the Micromasters here are like a nostalgia kick for the Micromasters miniseries from Dreamwave.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
jeez.
I think the clip from Cyberverse is actually pre-war because it's Megatron like rallying, and then he doesn't have a Decepticon symbol on his chest. Then he like puts a Decepticon at the end. Yeah, all the Autobots are just standing by him, and then Bumblebee's cheering at him too.
Yeah, you just see Bumblebee at the side, like, yeah.
He's like, yeah, go Decepticons.
And that's when it all went wrong.
Prime just shoots him a look. It's like, sorry.
Yeah, you're probably wondering how I wound up in the situation. Well.
So am I, because I have amnesia. That's the whole story hook.
So they have a slide that has a picture of G1 Bumblebee beside Cyberverse Bumblebee breathing new life into a new bot. So they're definitely at least trying to make a comparison between the two.
Okay, so the Volume 2 Retro Pop Highway is apparently going to be an Entertainment Earth exclusive.
Oh, nice.
If I'm interpreting this slide correctly.
Wait, the Volume 2 is the one with the golden Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movie?
Yeah,
and the other two tapes, yes.
Oh, does it have the other
URL,
two?
It may be available now.
No, well, it has the same two tapes in different colors, but I imagine one is Autobot, one. Yeah. Because Graphy's a bird, and I didn't see a bird in there.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
Oh, man, I did not notice that.
Okay, well, slightly less need for that then.
But it would make the combiners make more sense since one in each set is split factioned.
Yeah, but does anyone really think about that?
So Entertainment Earth isn't loading right now. Shocker.
I know. That's I went to go try it, and of course.
Oh, Hall of Fame inductees. Okay, they have the list up.
Unicron, we're all good.
Yeah,
Black Arachnia.
They're finalists.
Oh, is it Black Arachnia?
No, I'm just rooting.
Oh, okay. So everyone get ready to text diecast. Only if it's not Unicron. If it's Unicron, no one tell them.
Yeah, I was just gonna say if it's Unicron, we should just say Black Arachnia won anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be amazed if it's not Unicron, since they kind of rigged the vote to come out at the same time as the comic, so they would get extra hashtags for Unicron.
They never rigged the vote. What are you talking about? That's crazy talk.
If it's Unicron, I think we should just all agree to ban diecast from the podcast next week. Because no good will come from him being on with us.
Yeah.
I feel that way most times anyway, but especially in this situation.
Although I feel like it'd be even funnier if he did win the vote and then he just never gets a toy made.
Oh, Black and Arachnia and Battle Trap are your winners.
All right.
Good choices.
Yes.
And the human inductee to the Hall of Fame is John Barber. I'd say that's
awesome. Awesome.
Well, I mean, I wasn't super invested in Omega Supreme victory outside of the it's not Unicron factor, so this works for me.
Mm-hmm. All right, so everyone listening in the live stream, there's 60 of you total. Twitter at Diecast2.
Text message Diecast this.
Yes, at Twitter at Diecast2. Say something along the lines of "Congratulations on Black Arachnia's victory."
And hey, maybe all these Beast Wars things that keep winning fan polls might actually show Hasbro something if it happens for enough dozen years.
That they'll be forced to make another Beast Wars toy like they were with this Optimus Primal.
Yeah.
That they clearly did not want to make, which John Ward even said, I gave it to the new guy.
Yeah.
He said that at Hascon. He's like, yeah, I gave this new guy the product of Optimus Primal.
I did not even know that part.
Yep. He just outright said it.
Eric, would you hurry up and take his job, please?
No comment.
And looks like that's about all we got.
Yeah, that should be the end of the panel.
Yeah. Oh,
okay. I have just texted Diecast. Hey,
Same.
we got the Hall of Fame results. Black Arachnia won over Unicron. Big smiley.
Yep.
I just texted him, congratulations on Black Arachnia making it into the Transformers Hall of Fame.
I can't read his reply.
I can't repeat what he said.
Well, Chris, there's one piece of news out of San Diego that is not really in our purview, but we need to announce it anyway. NECA is doing 8-inch styles Golden Girls, which of course,
yes.
is some of the most important news out of San Diego. So,
okay, Entertainment Earth's page for Hasbro Comic-Con stuff is up. There are countdown clocks for each set of exclusives. Transformers will be up in approximately 10 minutes, Star Wars in approximately 1 day, 3 hours, and Marvel in 2 days, 6 hours, more or less.
Is there any actual information attached with these, like, price?
Doesn't look like it, but
Because I still can't get Entertainment Earth to load right now, understandably.
$60.
Did anyone
I
say
assume
anything
it'd
about
be about the
Blast
same.
Off? Did they talk about Blast Off getting released at all?
They put up
I
a slide of all 3 of them and said they'd be
Yeah.
available on Amazon.
Gotcha. I didn't know if they specifically said Blast Off's up now, but the others come out 1 a month or anything. But
Maybe I should just get the Volume 2 release of that Bumblebee and Dino Cassettes thing, since I don't really want that first Studio Series Bumblebee mold for one thing.
But that doesn't have the orange That doesn't have the orange cassette.
So many difficult decisions.
Yeah, but the gold VW Bug looks so much nicer than the other version of that we've seen so far, which so far is just the 2-pack version with the modern Camaro Bumblebee.
But that's more important to you than the orange Dino cassette? I'm just saying, I feel like there's a clear
I've
winner.
passed up orange Transformers before. And Entertainment Earth's pre-order does say that it's coming in October for Retro Pop Highway Volume 2.
October?
Oh.
I still can't get the page to load.
I kind of want to know what the
it's
Star
very
Wars and Marvel
slow.
pre-orders are.
Do they have the names of the cassettes on the pre-order page?
I'm still trying to.
We'll know
it.
in 8 minutes.
Here's the direct link to the pre-order page, if it will ever load.
It's the whole internet is saying right now. They're like, oh man, if this will ever load.
Here we are. Okay, here we are.
Let's see.
Oh,
Okay,
that
so-
gold Bumblebee looks so nice, though.
Okay, so what I'm seeing here is Zauru and Uriad, the evil twin of Dairu.
So the name's backwards again.
Yep,
yeah,
looks like it.
appears so.
So, some point during the panel, apparently they mentioned that they were focusing on wheels for the Generations line. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't know.
We made sure they all have wheels, guys.
Some vehicles will have hover wheels. Okay.
Hover wheels.
Wait, you don't think that means War for Cybertron, where whenever they're going fast, the wheels are down normally, but then whenever they're staying still, the wheels flip, they flip down
wheels.
And I don't know.
That doesn't even hover wheels does not even make sense as a word.
Well, I mean, if there was a mass vehicle called Bullet piloted by Ali Bombay that was a hovercraft, and the wheels turned over to become the fans. So maybe that's something along the same lines of what Eric is thinking, is the wheels become some kind of fan propulsions.
I'm guessing it's more like the DeLorean in Back to the Future 2, right? So it's just they fold up underneath, or they're just further in. So if they do decide to do like a Bumblebee with the disc car, that one would have the wheels further inside, so it would look like it's hovering from a distance, but it would still have wheels to roll.
I prefer something like Blur, where they designed it to be a hover car with the hidden wheels underneath. The way that ended up working out with the sculpt detailing really sold the idea well. But they can't really focus on the wheels, that the wheels are by intention supposed to be hidden underneath the body frame.
Ooh, Marvel Legends T'Chaka. That's so cool.
Also, I just noticed this tweet from Josh Burcham I'm really into the weapon/armor gimmick. I just wish the quote-unquote Cybertronian theme of it wasn't so barely there. Hashtag Space Pontiac, hashtag Space Peterbilt, hashtag Space DeLorean.
Yep.
Josh is a funny guy. I mean, do you think they were just too afraid to copy War for Cybertron, the video game designs, too much, or?
I think it's more likely they were just too afraid to go, we're just rebooting classics.
I think I was going to say the Cybertronian is clearly the added in later portion of their goals here.
Because I could see, you know, the kick around meeting for plotting out the line. Like, we've done, you know, a modern looking Starscream 2 years ago. We did one for the lines coming up this year because, of course, they're playing this stuff like 2 years ago now. You know, so what can we do for a Starscream for the next line that we're planning? Well, how about the Cybertronian look, the Tetrajet thing? Okay, cool. We've never done that before. I mean, except for all the times we've said that's what we're trying to do, like with Cybertron and War for Cybertron, etc. But, like, you know, start with that as the base concept, and then that's the one thing that they actually tell us about when they're teasing this at Toy Fair. And they're like, oh yeah, we're looking at like Cybertronian stuff and pre-cartoon, pre-war, whatever. And it's like, it's just a really, really bad representation of their thought process at the time. Because it's not like that's never happened before, where they're just kind of talking, you know, talking to their assembled group.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least if I end up not being able to get Firestar, I can just get Chromia. Because she's probably wave one will show up.
Hey,
but Firestar is a combiner.
So I'm not too worried about the combiner aspect of it at this point.
Then why do you want that mold?
They have it.
Bumblebee is up.
Oh, the pre-order activate?
Yeah.
I was about to say, you might need to be a lot more specific there, considering on all the things we've seen today.
The only Bumblebee product of all time is
yes.
Bumblebee stock is looking up. Go movie.
Remember back in 2006 when it was this like amazing novel thing that we got a Bumblebee toy again?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
For the first time since 1993, basically.
No, I don't remember that actually.
I remember a lot of things that happened between 1994 and 2007, which means I'm disqualified from ever working for Hasbro, apparently.
Wait. This still says that it's not up for sale.
I really am feeling far too negative about a lot of this stuff. There is some of this that I think is actually pretty decent looking.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. Like, the whole purpose of the War for Cybertron, the Siege line specifically right now, because we don't know what the next stage of it's going to end up looking like, but like the whole purpose of this does seem to be, let's reboot like the core classic stuff, because it's been at least 10 years for some of it. You know, let's get this stuff out in a familiar looking way, familiar looking for the stuff we haven't done recently, at least, and then let's, you know, think outside the box a little bit on the stuff that's had some more recent options be available. Like, Ironhide's certainly not my first choice for what Ironhide should look like. It's kind of teetering that line between like Cybertronian and you know, Chevy Astro. But at the same time, like, I know the fundamental engineering they're working from on that, so like, it probably is going to be our first good modern Ironhide ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can live with it.
Prowl hopefully will be something good.
Yeah.
Maybe. Also, with the observation that we've only seen Autobots so far, I'm trying to go back to those Amazon listing links. How far back were those? Because I don't think, I may be mistaken, but I don't think there was anything that we definitively linked to being a Generations product that was not an Autobot name.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Perhaps if I just search for it, it'll be faster.
You know, just to fill a little time here, going back to Rob's point, I think part of the letdown is that we waited a year. to get to this point. So the leak happened before last year's San Diego. San Diego basically had nothing we didn't know, or was it after San Diego? And
it was the week after.
Yeah,
week after San Diego, and then basically, even through Toy Fair, we really didn't get that much new, stuff to know about. At least we had names and characters spoiled before we saw molds, and then we saw the Terracons in New York, and then Toy Fair we saw the rest, but we knew everything that was coming. So I think part of that's a big letdown for this because of the character selection, because we've had so many years in a row, 3 years in a row of doing really non-traditional character selection. There's still some other things here, we've known about them, but Punch and Blast Off and some of these other things that are floating around in the other lines are still fairly interesting, fairly new. Unfortunately, they're all recolors and retools for the most part. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you, Rob, in terms of this being a disappointment, but I think there's a lot more product than we're realizing coming that is aimed in general. And yeah, a lot of it isn't terribly imaginative, but it's the launch of a line too, so that's kind of, it is what it is. I wonder what this Optimus is going to be. Like every Voyager Optimus we've gotten in the last few years has been a pre-tool for something else. And I'm looking at it going, what could this possibly be down the line?
Yeah, let's see them pull an Octane out of this one.
And that roof.
So I'm going over those. I'm going over the Amazon information here, and the only Decepticon names I see on stuff that I'm crediting as being generations is Megatron and Starscream and maybe Thundercracker. And that's all at the Voyager price point.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's not great, proportionately speaking.
Yeah, especially since I'm pretty sure, didn't we end up getting the Fan's Choice being the only 2-pack that was 2 Autobots?
Yeah, we did.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
This is what happens when you give the people power.
Yeah, really.
Silly people.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll hear. I'm sure we'll hear similar complaints about the voting process from Diecast on RFC next Wednesday.
Yeah, but he'll be talking about the vote that didn't matter as much.
Well, this is true, but it mattered to him.
Funny, I've got no
that's
text
what
back
made
yet.
it funny.
Yeah.
Oh, he texted me back like instantly.
Yeah, me too.
I guess he just doesn't like you, Jason.
He has to. I produce his show.
Oh.
The fact that we're seeing all Autobots this early on, how much do you think the relationship with this line being co-released by Takara plays into that? Since, villain characters are historically non-sellers in Japan.
I mean, isn't Studio Series co-released too? And that's literally a split 50-50 in terms of villains and and Decepticons and Autobots. I mean, I guess you can make the claim that it's different because it's not the classic cast, but it's still the same concept. That's literally, that was the first wave, but I think was actually 50% exactly at every single price point. Yeah. Decepticon and Autobots. So.
Yeah, and that crowbar sure did gangbusters for them. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad point. If we assume that it's going to be the same co-release with this generation's line as it has been with Power of the Primes, I mean, Takara could be weighing a little bit more influence in on the character choices to suit their market needs. Hopefully what we're actually seeing here is like a cross-section of the first 2 waves, and there's going to be more characters mixed in there.
That happened for Power of the Primes because we saw Blackwing before we. Yeah, like Blackwing was one of the first figures that we saw revealed, but wasn't one of the first figures released and such.
Yeah, that was a Wave 2 toy.
Yeah.
Now, admittedly, that's something they probably rushed up just because, Darkwing and Dreadwind kind of need to go together, but it is precedent for they could be pushing up some Wave 2 stuff to show us early just to get specifically targeted sampling out there for us.
And we know
if they really loved us, they'd know what we want to see as Decepticons.
It's true,
Yes.
and we know they can shift around waves of a line, if they want to, because they did that with the Bumblebee movie toys for Studio Series.
Yeah.
Because they said that the Studio Series, the Bumblebee wave that we're seeing now, well, the Bumblebee toys we're seeing now were supposed to be part of the first wave, whereas they're not. They're not until at least wave 3 going to get released. So.
Yeah, from what I remember of that anecdote, it sounded like they just barely had time to change the release order on those.
Mhm.
So, like, it is something that's theoretically possible, but probably has a really narrow timetable and is not something to be expected to be an option in most instances.
Oh no, what I mean is that they would have the figures ready in other waves. Like those other figures are already developed, so that's why I'm saying it's possible we could see them. Not that they're actually switching the order of this toy line, but that's what I mean is that the figures are done essentially, so they can show off any a figure from basically any of the first couple waves, and it doesn't make a difference to them because they're already so far along the production schedule and such.
Yeah, I would assume, like, at the point we're at literally right now, they are probably getting proofs back from the factory for, if not Wave 2 stuff, maybe even some of the early Wave 3 toys for the Siege line.
Mm-hmm.
Like getting their early test shots back to just make sure everything's working right for them. So, I mean, what we usually see at these shows like this is those test shots then hand painted for whatever color corrections that need to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not the most difficult thing. It's just a matter of, did the factory run this test shot yet?
All right, guys, just to give you a heads up, apparently either there was a miscommunication with Entertainment Earth, they're already sold out. I had one in my cart, and it never logged me into my account. It kept booting me back to the server failure message. I finally get back to the main page, and it says not for sale at this time.
Yeah, as far as I've seen, it has always been not for sale this time.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not for sale this time isn't the same as out of stock.
Right, but I mean when I went to the page, it loaded. It said add pre-order, add the cart.
You may have had a little glitch there, Don.
Yeah, apparently so, because the timer was still at 7 something when it went through. And
you definitely had a glitch then.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It looks like it's up now. Like I just loaded their main Entertainment Earth page, and the Bumblebee says the pre-order's open.
Well,
I just refreshed the page and it says not for sale this time.
Yeah, same here.
So their server's a little messed up at the moment. Let's not assume.
So, there's a 10-minute countdown, and if that's based on server time, as sluggish as the server is going, that could take hours. That 10 minutes.
This is true.
Yeah. We're basically in Dragon Ball time right now, and eventually we'll get to Namek.
I'm curious if/when this set will sell out.
Immediately.
I don't know.
Their site is completely down, so people are looking at it.
Well, people are looking for all types of from all brands. And not that the other one's going to go up yet, but people know what's going on right now. So San Diego Comic-Con's going on right now, and that there's exclusives. So I don't know. I guess it depends on how much. I'm just curious how much stock they'll have.
Yeah,
that's what I would be. Not that we'll ever be privy to that information, but
all I know is everyone I hear is all about these tapes. So
we'll never be privy to that information on the record for sure. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Given their previous exclusives, there might be a huge amount of stock on this.
I know that's what I'm thinking. Like Lio Kaiser, that was an entertainment.
Lasted a long time.
Right? Yeah, I was gonna say that was quite a bit.
Well, it says pre-order, add to cart. It says add to cart. You go to checkout. It says unable to add item.
Well, I still see not for sale this time, Don.
Yeah, I can't even log in.
I'm just getting error messages. I think it'll be a
task
for later.
Well, now it loaded for me. It shows the countdown timer to 0, and it says we currently don't have any new Hasbro pre-orders on the page. So,
yeah, I think they're just being hit a little bit too hard for this to be working right now.
Yep.
Poor Entertainment Earth. They tried.
So when do all the exclusives go up on HTS?
August 13th.
13th. Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting that the Volume 2 is theoretically going to be available to pre-order before Volume 1 is available to general audiences.
Yeah.
Well, but it won't.
But it's out already.
Yeah.
I say because it doesn't come out till October, whereas the first one's out now if you go to the convention.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's so easy to do.
Yeah, really. I just want those exclusives. See, I'm really, the main thing I thought about once these were released was, I'm mad there isn't another HasCon, because I'd be going to that, and the SDCC exclusives weren't that hard to grab at HasCon. If you got in the line right away, there was enough. They sold out by, I think, Ant, do you remember when they sold out? They didn't start to sell out till at least later in the first day.
Depends on what you were looking for, but yeah, it was probably in the early afternoon.
Especially the Transformers ones. But
yeah. I mean, they also had that giant Revolution set, which nobody wanted to carry around the convention. So, yeah, I feel like what else was there? Even the HasCon exclusives didn't even start selling out until the last day.
Well, the SDCC were the first ones to go out.
Oh yeah, right. The Primitive Prime that didn't sell out until probably late that Friday afternoon, or maybe even early Saturday. I mean, it was there for a while.
I think it was Friday, but yeah, it was. But it wasn't until the very end of the day for sure. I was so happy to grab that. I wish there were more exclusives like that Primitive Prime. I feel like that's peak exclusive in terms of how good it is and the price it's at and how hard it was for me to get it. It worked.
Right. Of course, if there was a HasCon this year, they would tell you 8 different numbers of how many you could buy before you got to the front of the line. So
that was frustrating.
Oh, good. I got a 502 error from Entertainment Earth. That's a good sign.
That's exactly what I got too.
I've been getting those.
Yep. Okay, so all right. So basically, we're looking at our fears confirmed about the MicroMasters 2 pack. Probably is what we're thinking.
Yeah.
And that's what, $10 price point.
Theoretically,
15?
yes.
Oh, 10. Okay.
No. The 15 that a lot of people are throwing around is what the prices were displaying as on Amazon Australia, which is currency converted from whatever the US prices are listed as. But I was saying this on the RFC Extra where we were talking about the MicroMaster League specifically. They're from an Amazon US listing through the Amazon Australia storefront, but there are no vendors on Amazon US offering them, so we can't access the listings through the Amazon US website right now because Amazon.
Gotcha. They pointed out the fact that the robots have battle damage, but not the alt mode. However, I will say that the renders of the Optimus Prime show his Autobot insignia.
Yeah, I mean, surfaces that are shared between robot and vehicle.
Yeah, so not 100% true there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Probably on Optimus Prime, it's very little true because it looks like there is stuff all around the windshield too, which that's going to show in the vehicle mode. Since this isn't the masterpiece and it has to actually have the same windows in vehicle and robot mode. That's actually the best part of that Ultra Magnus cab robot. It has to have the windows and grille be the same pieces for its truck mode and its robot mode.
Yeah.
No cheating at all.
That's not very common anymore. So
no, it's really not, and I kind of hate that.
Yeah, it looks like they did confirm it was already inspired for Ultra Magnus, which seemed obvious to us. But
apparently, they said that Chromia is a retool of Moonracer, which I figured she was at least standard engineering, but they specifically have the word retool. Somewhere,
so looking at the pictures, the only parts I could identify being the same are the whatever are on the same tree as the thighs in robot mode.
That's what I thought.
The same between, thighs. But everything else looks different. Assuming one of the Hasbro people literally said the word retool, that it's a retool of, they're probably using that more in a shorthand way than a literal descriptive way.
Yeah. Why does Punch and Punch Counterpunch come with a combiner hand when he?
Because it's the power
combine?
of the Prime's toy.
But he doesn't combine. Just
No,
say he's a
but it's also,
Just say he's a
it's also an
duocon.
armor thingy.
That's true. Just say he's a duocon, and that's the.
But I mean that
Mm.
it's an armor thingy, but that assumes that there's a way to attach it to that toy also.
There's
All-
got to be
all they
some
have to
kind
do-
of 5mm
Well,
socket
I
on
was
it.
gonna say the 5mm socket would at least attach in the vehicle mode, and at the very least, he can hold it in robot mode.
Mm-hmm.
Swell.
Yeah. And now the page is up and it says pre-order now for estimated shipment in October, yet there's no pre-order button. So now the page
No, it says
loads.
the service is unavailable.
So yeah, the whole thing is just screwed up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
kinda.
normal.
We
I mean-
don't usually have to observe it through Entertainment Earth. Like we would see
Yeah.
this with Hasbro Toy Shop or something.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's not forget Amazon of all companies, which their AWS service is like the best you can have, went down this week. So nobody can do it
Well,
right, apparently.
Prime Day though, right?
Sure,
Yeah.
but AWS is like one of the most lowest downtime, all that stuff, and yeah, but Prime Day knocked it out, which
Well,
anyone-
I mean, look at it this way. They probably, as much as it is a money-making venture, they probably look at Prime Day as also a stress test for their systems.
oh, I'm
So
sure they
that
look
they
at it that way.
So, they go through their system logs afterward and look at like, okay, where can we improve the infrastructure so that next year it's even stronger and we can charge more money for our web services platform.
Well, if you really want to go down that rabbit hole, they're also getting into the switch making business, so they could be like, hey, it wasn't our services, it was our Cisco switches, so so buy Amazon.
Boy, everybody's getting in the switch making business now. Amazon, Nintendo.
Yeah, that was what I thought too.
Yeah.
All right, so
Well,
what's
no,
our
first I thought literal physical switches, like, toggles and
right?
light switches and
So
Yeah.
NYCC is the next big reveal type thing we'll have. Yes.
well, I mean,
Unless there's a conference call.
yeah, I was
No.
gonna say other than next week's Weibo leaks, yeah.
Yeah.
So other than some Decepticons, is there anything else we want to see or we could see that could save this a little bit? Since meh seems to be the general.
How about
consensus?
some Bondo to fill in those panel lines?
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Yeah. Just like the exterior of half of these toys is just going to be a big ball of putty. That's what it's going to come down to. But no, as to what could salvage this, I have no idea.
Some other character choices, maybe.
Yeah, I'd like to see Six Gun because that's one of the more interesting things that we've heard is coming that we haven't seen yet. But
I would suspect that might be something we don't see until Toy Fair, because there's a very good chance that would be Wave 3 at the earliest.
So
yeah,
wait, so Cog would be shipping by himself?
Well, I mean, it'd be in some assortment with something, but like
Yeah, I think he's a
it's at the
deluxe.
deluxe price point.
Okay.
So it seems like there's regular deluxes like Sideswipe and Hound, and then there's also going to be their weaponizer deluxes, which are the
Oh.
ones that transform as sort of robot laying down, but primarily are there to split into weapons for the other characters to use. So, Cog and Six Gun are going to be under that part of the play pattern, but
Wait,
still
so
at
they're
the
not
deluxe
just-
price point.
Wait, so they're just going to be packed into waves of deluxes, right?
Yeah.
Like they're not.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was just making sure it wasn't like actually something
Yeah,
separate.
as far as I can tell with this, from the Amazon leaks and what have you, yeah, because I'm looking at the information now. Cog and Hound are sequential product code numbers, 3536 and 3537. So they're like 99% guaranteed to be an assortment together.
I wonder if we'll see at that price point. It's possible we could see Flywheels as the Decepticon, because that would be a good format for something like that.
Yeah, I mean, since the Legends are being replaced by Micromasters, it's not like we're going to have a chance for a repeat of Battle Trap.
Mm-hmm.
Darn, that's a shame.
So I'm looking at the Chromia pictures again, and I realize this is one of the hand painted sample pieces. It's not in plastic colors like one of the side swipes I think might be in plastic colors, but this is definitely hand painted. When that's in flat plastics, it's probably not going to look quite so overbearingly detailed.
Hopefully.
Like, it's definitely going to be a style clash with Moonracer. There's no getting around that. But the full paint always tends to accentuate the panel line details.
Yeah.
So this is not related to SDCC. However, it is Transformers related. Big Bad Toy Store has pre-orders up for Magna, which is half of their Skylinks, $120. Their Roller from IDW, $110.
Yeah,
and
the MMC stuff, right?
The third use of Tarn.
The third use of Tarn, yes.
I'm surprised by how many people they've made out of a Tarn mold.
Their Azalea, which is their RC 95, and the Ocular Max remix of Frenzy and Rumble, 130.
Oh look, the test shot version of Poseidon from TFC Toys is also up for pre-order.
Well,
Right.
we don't need to touch that one.
I mean, I like the black and purple one, but I will never get over the fact that they just are releasing a test shot.
Well, people do like test shots.
Yeah.
Of course, when they're
Weird colors, not
when
just
they're in-
one black.
when they're intentionally manufactured products, it does kind of take something away from it.
Does IDW Roller just carry around an Optimus Prime gun?
I mean, there's worse guns to have.
Yeah.
That's like his only gun that their Roller has is just an Optimus Prime gun. Which,
It's at least not something that's going to turn into a little dude and run away.
this is true.
Not a sword that's made out of a cat that's going to like turn around and slash you instead of the person you're trying to fight.
I'm not gonna
RC
lie.
exclusive Massey Battle Master.
I hate cats, but I would totally take a sword cat.
I don't know. That just seems like a bad plan all around. If you hate cats, a cat made out of swords just seems like the worst possible choice.
So have we pretty much exhausted everything we want to talk about with this then? Since we're talking
long
about
ago.
cat swords?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you watch RFC, you're familiar with me, Chris, Don, and Rob, so you know where to find us. Eric is on, but not often enough. Eric, where do people find you?
At Eric Crowbar on Twitter if you're daring. Also, my birthday is next week, so if you're feeling nice, I do have an Amazon wishlist this year if you want. And then also, the main place you can listen to me is the Nerdy Geek Talk Network. Basically, anywhere you listen to this, you should be able to find it. And Steel City Boss is the main show, so go check out the younger people.
Rob, what's your Patreon?
Patreon.com/flailthroughs, where if you want to request seeing a specific Gunplow or mobile suit in New Gundam Breaker or Gundam Battle Operation 2, you can throw me a couple of bucks and I will record it.
Nice. And Anthony, there's all kinds of fun stuff you do.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you can find me on Twitter at TFU_info, on the web at TFU.info, and Facebook and Instagram .com/TFUinfo for either one. And you catch the podcast Transformers University and TFU News and Views wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Yeah, and I'll put in a plug for TF University for sure. It's definitely a fun listen. So you should add that to your Transformers rotation if you haven't already.
And I think everyone here has been on the show at least once.
Oh, yeah. I guess so.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Don and Chris were on one of the early episodes, and everyone else has been on fairly recently.
This is true. All right, everyone. That'll do it for the SDCC Hasbro panel live stream.
No, before that, though, I want to encourage everyone to tweet at Diecast2 on Twitter, and extend your well wishes for Black Arachnia's victory in the Hall of Fame character selection this year.
The only time that the vote mattered.
Yeah.
Hashtag Seacons before Unicron.
Yeah, or just send Black Arachnia before Unicron, because that'll really dive the knife in there.
Yeah.
All right, on that note, everyone, bye, everyone. We will see you next Wednesday for Radio Free Cybertron.